Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, your progress just isn't moving forward? It seems like while others are advancing, you're stuck in the same place, not understanding why. If you felt this way, there might be a deeper reason behind your stagnation. And the most important thing is that this reason could be going unnoticed. But as someone chosen to walk a spiritual path, it's crucial to understand what's really happening. Maybe you're trapped in an invisible trap, comparison, greed, or even not recognizing the value you already have. Yes, there's something you're overlooking, and that could be blocking your growth. Today, we're going to dive deep into this journey of self-discovery. Get ready to uncover the hidden traps that have been stealing your peace and holding back your progress. If you're ready to unlock your true potential and understand what's really behind that feeling of being stuck, keep watching. This video is for those committed to their spiritual and personal growth, and for those who won't settle for anything less than real progress. Comparison is one of the biggest traps in the modern world. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with others' achievements and successes, it's easy to lose yourself by measuring your worth against someone else's success. The problem is, when you do that, you never see the whole picture. You see others' stages, but never their behind the scenes. And while you're comparing yourself to that superficial ideal, you end up ignoring your own progress. So, comparison becomes a form of self-sabotage that stops you from seeing the beauty of your own journey. Social media is one of the biggest tools for comparison. When you scroll through Instagram or Facebook, for example, you come across perfect lives, amazing trips, sculpted bodies, harmonious relationships. However, what we don't realize is that these images are just a fraction of reality. They're edited and filtered moments that don't reflect the internal struggles everyone faces. When we compare ourselves to these idealized versions, we create an impossible expectation to meet. And that's where the danger lies. Because when you compare yourself to an illusion, you're destined to feel like you'll never be enough. Moreover, comparison steals something precious from you, your focus. When you look at others' progress, you divert your attention from what really matters, your own path. It's like running a marathon but spending all your time watching the other runners. As a result, you lose your rhythm, stumble, and end up feeling incapable of moving forward. The truth is, everyone's journey is unique, and constantly comparing yourself takes you away from your purpose. So, why keep measuring yourself against something that isn't yours? The solution to this vicious cycle starts with practicing gratitude and self-awareness. When you stop focusing on others and begin to value your own achievements, no matter how small, comparison loses its power. A simple exercise is to list 3 things you did well or are grateful for each day. This act of recognition shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you've already achieved. And with that, you start to see your own life from a perspective of abundance. Instead of spending energy wishing for what others have, you begin to invest in yourself. Finally, it's important to remember that comparison is a race that never ends. There will always be someone with more money, more success, more recognition. However, what truly matters is your growth compared to who you were yesterday, not what others are doing. How about taking a moment now to ask yourself, what are my achievements? What did I do today that makes me proud? This reflection can be the first step to breaking the comparison cycle and redirecting your attention to your true progress. Greed is a subtle and powerful force that often goes unnoticed in our daily lives. It disguises itself as healthy ambition but, in reality, creates a barrier between you and your own happiness. When you start desiring what others have, whether it's a bigger house, a newer car, or even social recognition, you end up fueling a cycle of dissatisfaction. Greed puts you in a position of inferiority, always looking at what's missing instead of recognizing the opportunities and achievements you already have. One of the biggest misconceptions about greed is that it's never satisfied. When you achieve what you've been longing for, something new quickly arises to desire. It's like chasing a rainbow, always believing that happiness is in the next fulfilled wish. This creates the illusion that by conquering what someone else has, you'll be complete. But does that really happen? How many times have you achieved something you wanted so much and then realized shortly after that it didn't bring the expected satisfaction? Greed is a hunger that never ends. This cycle is heavily reinforced by the environment we live in. Social media and the media are masters at selling an idea of happiness tied to external achievements. The message is clear: to be happy, you need to have what others have. However, this is a dangerous trap because it makes you believe that happiness is always in the next step, instead of in the present. And the more you desire, the further you get from appreciating the value of what you already have. Greed turns what you have into insufficient, when, in reality, it might be exactly what you need for your growth. To overcome the illusion of greed, a change in perspective is needed. Instead of focusing on what's outside, start looking inward. What do you really want? What is essential for your growth and happiness? Often, when reflecting on these questions, we realize that our desires have been shaped by external influences, not by our true needs. When you stop desiring what has never been yours, you make space to appreciate what you already have and to create from there. And that is true freedom. The key to breaking the cycle of greed is to focus on what's within your control: your skills, your relationships, your opportunities. Instead of wishing for someone else's life, ask yourself, what can I do with the resources I already have? This question not only frees you from comparison but also gives you a new perspective on your potential. By stopping the chase for shadows, you begin to build a more solid and authentic reality. Modern society conditions us to think that we'll only be happy when we achieve something new, whether it's a better job, a bigger house, or the recognition we've always sought. However, the true value of life lies in what we already have. Success and fulfillment start with appreciating our accomplishments and the tools we already possess. When you learn to look inward and recognize the wealth present in your life, you discover that the starting point for progress has always been within your reach. This appreciation, however, requires a mindset shift. Most people focus so much on what's still missing that they end up ignoring what they've already built. But think for a moment. How many victories have you already achieved? How many challenges have you overcome? If you start listing these things, you'll realize that you already have a solid foundation to keep growing. Often, gratitude for what we already have opens doors to more opportunities because it changes the way we see the world. You move from a state of scarcity to one of abundance. And we're not just talking about material possessions or external achievements. What about your skills, your relationships, and the lessons life has already taught you? Every experience, every small victory, is part of a unique treasure that only you possess. Sometimes, we're so busy looking at what's missing that we forget to value the internal resources we already have. Your potential is one of those resources. How many times have you underestimated your own abilities because you were focused on what others were doing? The value of what you already have goes far beyond tangible things. It's in your character, your experiences, and your skills. To recognize this value, it's essential to practice self-awareness. Knowing who you are and what your talents are helps you realize that you already have what you need to build what you desire. Instead of chasing something external, ask yourself, what have I already achieved that can take me even further? From this reflection, you begin to see the potential in what you already possess and let go of the need to always seek something outside of yourself. True growth comes when you value and build upon what you already have. Therefore, the next step in your growth isn't about acquiring more, but about recognizing the power of what's already in your hands. And it's exactly this that prepares you for success. By stopping the focus on what's missing and starting to use what you already have, you'll realize that you're much closer to your dreams than you thought. True growth happens when you stop chasing what seems unattainable and start building with what's already within your reach. Everything you need to move forward is already in your hands, but often, it goes unnoticed because we're distracted, focusing on what we don't have. The secret lies in changing your perspective and seeing the potential that already exists in your life. How can you use your current resources to advance? Instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity, start taking action with what you have available now. Building with what you have means making the most of your skills, talents, and the opportunities around you. Maybe you already have a skill or knowledge that you're underestimating, but that could be the key to your next level of growth. Think of something you already do well, whether in your personal or professional life, and reflect, how can I enhance this even more? Sometimes, what you already excel at can be boosted with small adjustments and dedication. Progress happens when you focus on improving what's already within your reach instead of waiting for something you don't yet have. Additionally, many people get paralyzed waiting for the right moment to act. They believe they need more resources, more money, more knowledge. But what they don't realize is that movement toward progress begins with the first steps, even if they're small. A classic example is of great entrepreneurs who started with almost nothing but, by focusing on their skills and the few resources available, managed to build something extraordinary. The difference between stagnation and progress lies in the attitude of making the best with what you already have. Another important point is that building with what you have creates a sense of self-sufficiency and confidence. You realize that you don't need to wait for perfect external conditions to start growing. By focusing on maximizing the resources you have at your disposal, you eliminate the scarcity mindset. This mental shift is liberating because it removes the burden of expectation and puts you in control of your journey. Small daily actions with what you already possess can lead to significant long-term results. Finally, it's essential to remember that genuine progress doesn't happen all at once. It's built, brick by brick, with patience and perseverance. And the most important thing, it happens when you accept that you already have what you need to start. So, the question is, how can you begin to build with what you already have today? The answer to this question leads you down a path of sustainable and authentic growth. True freedom arises when you accept and value your own journey without the need to compare or covet what's beyond your reach. Often, we confuse contentment with complacency, but these concepts are very different. Contentment doesn't mean stopping growth or giving up on your dreams. It means learning to be grateful and at peace with what you have in the present while moving forward with calm and clarity. From the moment you feel fulfilled, the weight of comparison and external pressure disappears, and you find serenity. This serenity is what allows true growth to happen. When you're constantly worried about what's missing or what others are achieving, your mind becomes overwhelmed. There's no space for peace, reflection, or creativity. But by achieving contentment, you create a stable mental foundation. Imagine the tranquility of knowing that what you already have is enough for this moment and that your progress will come naturally, without forcing or fighting against the flow of life. This is the freedom of someone who has learned to value the present. However, contentment isn't something you achieve overnight. It's a daily practice that involves intentionality. Every day, you need to remind yourself to recognize your achievements, appreciate your skills, and accept that the present moment has value. A simple exercise to practice this is to start and end your day by reflecting on something you're grateful for. By doing this, you begin to redirect your focus to what is already good in your life instead of worrying about what's missing. Over time, this practice builds a mindset of abundance, where growth is a natural consequence of inner peace. The great gift of contentment is emotional freedom. You're no longer trapped in the cycle of insatiable desires, always wanting more, feeling like you never have enough. Instead, you begin to appreciate the growth process with ease. And this ease transforms your journey. You allow yourself to enjoy the present and the journey itself without the constant need to reach a destination. When you live in contentment, every step becomes meaningful because you're no longer racing against time or competing with others. You're at peace with your own pace. So, the real question is, are you ready to stop endlessly seeking and start enjoying what is already yours? Contentment offers the freedom to live with purpose without the pressure of being someone you're not. It's in this freedom that you flourish. By cultivating acceptance and inner peace, progress happens naturally and effortlessly. And with this foundation of serenity, you're ready to walk your path with ease, wisdom, and confidence in what lies ahead. Now that you understand the traps of comparison, greed, and the lack of appreciation for what you already have, it's time to apply this knowledge to your life. There are no more excuses for feeling stuck. You have the power to start building with what you already possess and find freedom and contentment. But remember, progress begins with a first step, recognizing that you already have everything you need to move forward. And I want to hear from you, which of these obstacles has been affecting your journey the most? Leave your comment below because your experience can inspire others who are going through the same situation. And if this content has helped you in any way, share it with someone who also needs to hear this message. Let's build a community together that values authentic growth and inner peace. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming content on spirituality, self-awareness, and personal development. Until the next journey.